Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Blue Archive. In the last parts, what did we do in the last part? I don't even fucking remember. I think we did the idol events with Mari and everybody else. I think that's what we did last time. Now we're off to do the Tree of Sephiroth, which is the continuation of this nonsense that we did a while back. Let me get this pulled up here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. The Decagrammaton episode. So we're doing more of this stuff now. Chapter 2. Chapter 2 of the Flaming Sword. So, let's do it. I think this is the same stuff as what's on the home screen. Actually, it's not. It's different. Let's go with this one, I guess, because this is time limited. Because I've already done it. Oh, it's this nonsense. Okay. Cool. This isn't that important then. This isn't that important then. So yeah, how do you do this? But we can do some new story though. I'm not quite sure how long it is, but we're gonna do it. So let's do it. The Flaming Sword. Glacial Sea again. How's it looking at me, Toki? No major changes detected during the recon. I've identified the occasional Decagrammaton follower, but they're not hostile. No combat initiated. We only decided to continue operations here in hopes of securing more data on the fifth prophet, Gabrua. But we haven't gotten nothing. This feels like a waste of manpower and resources. More importantly, this environment is too harsh for a delicate, beautiful, super genius, chic, cool beauty like me. Chic? You added more adjectives to your moniker, President. Furthermore, I believe chic and cool are inaccurate descriptions. Absolutely wrong. I am the very epitome of a chic, cool beauty, Emmy. You really must think more highly of me. Yes, Emmy, regardless of reality, it's important to encourage high self-esteem in both ourselves and others. Toki, has anyone ever told you that some things are better left unsaid? Yes, you know me very well, President Himari. However, I do not understand the sentiments and have no desire to either. Do something about this, Sensei. It was bad enough for them, and now I must endure Toki as well. Toki isn't ill intentions, at the very least. That's precisely the problem. Let's move on to matter at hand. We need to collect more data on Gabrua. I do have a report on that matter. That's what you may call a hunch. However, that piques my interest. Please elaborate. Yes, my hunch is about Gabrua itself. To be precise, it's an impression I received during our battle. To me, it appeared that Gabrua was avoiding direct engagement, as if it did not want to incite an all-out war between us. Agreed. I felt its primary motive was not to fight. I see. Now, if we evaluate what we know of Gabrua so far, we summarize that it's doing its utmost to delay battle, unlike the other Decagrammaton prophets we've encountered, because of an ulterior motive we have yet to discover. That's correct. I'll never ignore Toki's intuition. Considering you fought it face to face, I trust your report. However, that doesn't change what needs to be done. Continue to track Gabrua and its activity? Yes, Sensei. Let's say Gabrua has some masterful plan brewing in the background. Then it's the Super Phenomenon Task Force's job to figure out what it is. Everyone, without further ado... Emmy, alert! We're under attack. Now a predicted pattern. President, we're under attack. Yes, I heard. For them to change their MO and suddenly aggress. Some kind of new command structure established. They're now seeking to engage in battle. Or perhaps it's retaliation for us chasing down Gabrua's trail. There's no trace of Gabrua. We haven't found a wisp of it. Yes, I found nothing while analyzing data either. What could have prompted? Analysis and contemplation will have to wait. Commencing battle. Oh boy. Guess it doesn't matter what I use, huh? Why is this team even selected? I don't even know why this team is even selected. I don't remember selecting this team. I don't understand why this team's being selected. I don't know why I chose this random this team. I guess Toki and what's your nuts makes sense because they're part of the story, but I don't remember picking this team. Alright, well, that's done. Investigation. Alright. Emmy, Toki, are you okay? Report. I'm Emmy. Mission accomplished. Presidents. Likewise, no damage or injuries to report. However, during the fight, we discovered two things. One can be delivered by oral report, but the second will require a show and tell. What should we do first? Let's start with the simple one. Talking is easier. The Decagrammaton forces movements appear to be more organized. How so? I will speak. Previously, they appeared to have no sense of direction or leadership. That is no longer the case. They carried out concealment, ambush, and siege tactics perfectly. Of course, they caused no problem for me at all. Peace, peace. It was something, Sensei. The president was already too much. Now Toki's joined her. Toki doesn't have any intentions, at least. Don't you think that's the problem? I'm having a bit of strange feeling of deja vu. That expression of distress in Emmy's face. Amazing, Toki. Incredible, even. Laudable work. Thank you, President Himari. What was the second item? One I needed to see. I'll send it to you now. Sensei, please take a look and tell us what you think as well. What we got? I see glaciers. What is this? What is what? I see nothing. Something massive is flying through the Glacial Sea. I haven't seen it in person. What's your opinion, Emmy? I don't really see anything that's wrong with this. I mean, it looks like it's just the glacial ice is being broken off. I agree with your assessment. I'd also like to add that ice's breakage seems to have been caused by a ship of some kind. As you can see on the screen, I'd say that is true. As the recon master around here, I would assert that we must follow this trail. Oh, oh, there's my music. I was about to say, where'd it go? Could this be the trace of Gabrua we have been searching for? No, I don't think so. Do you remember when we first encountered Gabrua? It came out of nowhere, bursting out from under the Glacial Sea's bed of ice. I get that what the president's trying to say. Exactly. Gabrua has always taken advantage of its ability to mobilize undetected beneath the Glacial Sea from what we've seen in its movement. This is a far cry from its usual patterns. Whatever did this is showing off. Not in the line of Gabrua's previous behavior. Like it was putting its strength on display. It could be something even worse than Gabrua. Another prophet? Nothing is confirmed yet. We've been flying about without leads ever since we lost track of Gabrua. But it appears that it's time for us to take action. It's time, let's follow the trail. And pause on our efforts to find Gabrua. I see. This is connected to another prophet, so again, I suspect, then Gabrua is likely somewhere along the path as well. But those children have been weighing on my mind. Do you mean the 3 engineers we encountered? Ein, Soph, and Hour. They were the first ones to actually attempt to communicate with us. Their appearance here could hardly be mere coincidence. Alright, Sensei, I agree. Emi and Tokyo begin tracking down the... What are you talking about, President? You have to come too. Yes, and Sensei. Sensei should come. Huh? Me too? And me? Of course. Who knows how far this trail will take us? Walking will be inefficient. We have a helicopter in the operation room. We should use that. Yes, efficiency is important. I'll say it again, since it's important. Efficiency really is important. Do you realize you're asking me, a delicate, weak, frail, and fragile beauty, to fly through the harsh environment of the Glacial Sea? It's fine, President. You're much stronger than you think. I guarantee it. That's right, President Himari. To be more precise, you're like a red panda, raising its little arms trying to block a path. Does that mean I'm strong or weak? The scope of the search is going to be expanding significantly. It'd be best if we move as a group from here on out. I can hardly argue with Sensei. Understood. Emi, Toki, please return when we will commence our investigation of the new clue! You're strangely excited about this, Sensei. The look on her face. Alright. Connect this part with this, and then let's have the cylinder over there across this. And my calculations are correct. Ein. There you are. Are you messing with the machines again? Oh boy. This is a shock! What'd I do? Is this off? You scared me. I'm sorry for screaming. Scared? What are you getting scared for? It's only me, you, me, and Hour here. Hour, me, and you! No outsiders allowed. But I was really focused and you spoke to me so suddenly. I couldn't help it. Alright, I'm sorry, okay? Anyway, what's this massive machine do for? This child? Oh, where do I start? I don't even know the dirty details. Just give me the rundown. Ah, yes. I've utilized maximum number of cogs, connected to the proper axles, added more supporting cylinders, and hooked it all up to the power system. You interweave and knit together the maximum number of parts, and have the most biggest ever machine calculator. Another one? But the specs are astronomical compared to the previous editions. It can memorize 10,050 digits. Can't you do that with a basic old calculator? Those ones that can fit in your pocket? This is just factory size version of that. Everyone has their own hobbies. I didn't mean to. Oh boy. You know, now that I'm taking another look, it's super impressive. Yep, yeah. But you can control this big gigantic thing with just one lever. How efficient. Oh, that worked. Don't you think so? I really like this stuff. Stuff like what? Uniform massive devices carrying out your rules impeccably? Yes, the rules are very good and having a clear input and output. And yes, it's even better if it's a big and hard device. And if it can move forever without outside help, there's no better than in the whole world. Wait, perpetual motion machines are only hypothetical. And Ein, you can't call things big and hard. Is that so? Why is that soft? Well, that's... yes, that's because among humans there are expressions of vulgarity. That's what you were trying to say, yes, soft? Or, Hour. While I could not ascertain the reason, I learned in my research of Kivelos' social protocol that this expression causes humans an embarrassment of some sort. Huh. This begs the question, why is Soft so proficient in human idioms? Now that you mention it. See, Ein is curious too. Hurry, confess. Hour, drop it if you don't. Today's topic, how did Soph come to learn the human expressions? My first theory, Soph is a stalker who finds pleasure in observing inferior races, such as humans. She enjoys their contradictory manners, the way they often convolute their goals by unnecessarily fretting over morals and processes. She does this despite the fact that it's absolutely a divergence from the objective we should be investigating. We'll find out here and now while Soph's logical circuits are overloaded. The end goal is to observe Soph's expression of embarrassment. Oh boy. And she's down. Tease her too much. Ow. Are you alright, Hour? You reap what you sow. Stop indulging yourself with your useless yammering and focus on deciphering the commandment. We need to hasten and prove their existence before the completion of the altar. The commandment? But I finished it? Already? Yes, the data we got during the battle with Abi Esu was an immense boon. What other reason would I have to interact with you if not for the commandment? My, is that what they call an inflated ego, Soph? You should have disclosed that information to begin with. No violence! No, beating each other up. This is the commandment of the nameless gods. At last, this in hand I could finally reproduce the sublime before the sublime. To be honest, I really thought this was nothing more than a long-lost myth. Not so long or lost, it's written in the Master's records. Yes, the Master declared, proved my being to the far reaches of the land. But variables out of anyone's control brought about the tragedy. Vending machine. Sin will proliferate the land, and all plans born of that mind will be wicked. Shall be wicked. Water will purify all. Well, it's what one would call an unfortunate result. That's why we had to look for new leads, a different direction. And that's what led us here, but... What's wrong, Ein? What thought plagues you? Even if it wasn't pursuit of truth and proof of the Master's existence, was it truly necessary to rely on an abandoned power? But I don't mean to rebel against the Master's teachings. What brings this up, brought this curiosity? We are faultless, as we were created flawless. Therefore, anything we do is also without fault. Well, the intent behind Ein's questions do not escape me entirely. We are the embodiment of perfection, so why did we need to change? To find ways to improve our functions? That's it! That's why I think we... Now. That's why you're wrong, Ein. Rewrite your logic circuits in this fashion. So they robots? Androids? So are these guys kind of like with Irie? Or not Irie, fuck. What was his name? Shit! The girl from game development. I can't remember her name. Shit. Fuck me. It's not Irie. It starts with an A. I can't fucking remember. Aris. That's what it is. Aris. Is that how it is? That's right. Who else could wield such a power besides us? The perfect creations. And once we perfectly implement our plan, the fragments of this land will be converted into our source. If you really think about it, they give themselves fancy names, like the nameless gods, but they're just old, ancient fossils at this point. They're nothing but fuel to us, like the fuel of fossil fuels humans love so much. There's not one singular thing wrong about siphoning power from beings manifested from past legacies. Huh? What's with the strange looks? I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand that fossil fuel analogy. Worry not, Ein. Consider it a strange human quirk that only Soph can only comprehend. I myself cannot comprehend Soph's curious infatuation with such inferior beings. Curiosity is too strong for a description. That's our territory, right? We're going to rule over them. So it's more like livestock? Yes, exactly. Just as humans know the ins and outs of their own livestock. What is this livestock? Probably another strange and trivial concept that only Soph knows. Get away from her, Ein. Leave soften her peculiarities they hear, and we shall test the new computer device you developed. Oh boy. You get away? You're a bad influence on Ein. False, you're the epitome of an influence that is negative. Wait, soft hour, don't fight. Huh? This is a message from Gabrua? From darling Gabrua? I must check immediately. It's just an operation all on its own. To have its limits released? No, our Gabrua can't handle that much strain. Let's hear it out for now. Gabrua's original mission was to identify and eradicate any enemies within the Glacial Sea. It seeks to complete its directive. I can sympathize. Wonderful, wonderful. A revenge match of sorts. Darling Gabruas are a little hothead, but still. There's more. Although unlikely, in the event that Gabrua is defeated, request the enemies be lured to that place. Our plan B, you say? Fascinating. My, an issue of differing import. Well, it looks fun, so let's comply. You sure? Not that I have an opinion on one way or another. I object! If that's that place, and our darling Gabrua's intention... yes, it isn't ready to function at 100% capacity. However, the plan itself, we can't help but approve of. As she says, its strength is on par with the plan's demands. Force the enemy to fight until they find themselves teetering on their limits. Terrain advantages on our side as well. But how do we know the plan will work? If something happens to our baby. What are these festering doubts, Ein? In that event, you'll simply need to step in. You're right. I really have to clear my head then. If it happens, then I don't really rise to the occasion with excitement. Then we'll all agree now. Do we agree to Gabrua's plans? I say yes. Yes, we must allow them to grow, respect their autonomy. For the prophets, they'll only just open their eyes after all. Alright. Soften our thinks so, and more importantly, if our darling Gabrua wishes, I'll do my utmost to prove how we can employ the nameless gods' power in ways before unimagined. Oh boy. Things are intense in the Glacial Sea. We've been following the trail deeper into the Glacial Sea for a considerable time now, but there's nothing significant, no. Let's pause and reorganize our thoughts and reevaluate our goals. Please pull up the video, Emmy. Yes, President. Our actions can be categorized into 3 main stages. We battled Gabrua, found this clue, and now we are tracking it. But at the core of our investigation, we were unable to determine Gabrua's intentions here. Hasn't it always been difficult to figure out the Prophet's motives? Of course, there were exceptions of Chezid, that was a munitions factory, and Kether, that was a guard in the ruined submerged district. And during that, we encountered 3 strange children who claimed to be the engineers and followers of Decagrammaton. They attacked us. That's all correct. However, what is truly of interest to me was their mention of the nameless god's power. To be exact, they called it forbidden technology. Yes, they realized immediately that it was the same power used on my weapon, Abi-Esu. So I came to the conclusion there is no direct connection between the Decagrammaton and the nameless gods. I had originally surmised that there must be a relationship between the two, but I was incorrect. There's too many unanswered questions. I don't know why they called us here, but it seems our presence here was the final component in completing this elder sister they spoke of. Whether they needed all of us for a specific individual, and why, I still don't know. Maybe it was the nameless priests and gods acknowledging the Abi-Esu that they were after. Or even the Sheedim chest. There's still many unknowns with the General Student Council President's last gift to Shale. It could even be the super delicate genius hacker Akiboshi Himari's fearsome gift of omniscience. I don't know about that. That's not real. Huh. That's what we know. The rest is my hypothesis. But the reason those children were the engineers who introduced themselves as Ein Soften Hour called us to the Glacial Sea was to complete this eldest sister. Then we can predict that the information they needed was data from the Abi-Esu. Yes, that appears accurate. Abi-Esu's data? It's a simple supposition, Sensei. They were already aware of the nameless god's powers. So upon learning of such a power, what could be the natural next step? It would be to acquire and validate data and confirm if it can be used for their advantage. They fought us in order to gather data on the Ebiesu? Then the real purpose of that fight. Correct. It was all part of their strategy. Although I'm still unclear on just what their strategy or motive was. As a caveat, this is all pure speculation. Speculations we've been having trouble finding any shred of evidence for. However, it would align with why Gabrua has been refusing to meet us on the battlefield. And on top of everything, we've encountered a new prophet. To have left such a conspicuous trail, they must have some purpose in the Glacial Sea, right? That's likely the case. I'm curious about its appearance. Me as well, perhaps more than anyone else. But then again, we're left with no clues. The only thing I can deduce based on the trail we saw is that it is unimaginably large. I suppose I would surmise that it's capable of moving alone for extended periods of time. The nameless god's power, Gabrua, the engineers of Decagrammaton, the unknown prophet's movements. Listing it all out feels ominous. Just what are they after? There must be an answer hiding just beneath the surface. Oh boy. What's happening all of a sudden? Anti-aircraft fire! We're under attack! We should land, President. There are hostiles in the air as well. Your order, Sensei. Mercy landing! Yes, commencing mercy landing. We're surrounded. Sure you are. I'll break through break through. Toki? Yes, I shall make quick work of them. They're very persistent. Is this attack also with the intent to collect data? No, this... It's as if the trail we were following led us directly to this force of Decagrammaton troops. Was this all a trap? Or... Huh? The enemy forces are suddenly retreating. And in the ideal case, they have recognized their inferiority and plan on strategic escape. However, this does not appear to be that. This is... Could it be? President, entity approaching from 15 meters below. This is where you've been, Gabrua. Oh boy. Shit, this thing has a fucking load of health. Look at that. 7,000 fucking health bars. Oh my fucking god. Let me deal no damage to this thing. We can't hurt him, he can't hurt us. This thing is like... Good lord. Is it not significantly stronger? Your brew is not the same as before. This is beyond a power boost. This is a fundamental change in how it functions. What should we do? Now we should try to escape and regroup. Gabrua, it's approaching! I'll stall the enemy while I do so. That is a no good habit of yours, Toki. Can we even land the helicopter right now? And at the very least, Sensei. Mobilize AMAS unit. Who the fuck's this? AMAS unit. Huh? Is that? Who the fuck's that? What the fuck are these things for? Dinky little robots. Exchanging pleasantries in this situation isn't logical. Hey, it's Rio! Let's skip them this time. You! Rio! Please stay focused on the enemy in front of you, Sensei. You too, Himari. I'm here to provide support, and way to deal with the fifth prophet, Gabrua. Fine. Fine! Only because we have no other choice. What are your dinky little robots gonna do against that thing? We couldn't even touch it before. Dinky little robots! Oh, we did a little bit more damage this time around. Not a whole lot, though. Hey, its defense dropped significantly now. Look at those health bars just go down and drop like flies. Hey, that thing got shredded. Went from 7,000 health bars to none.
Peace.
It's slowing down. Toki! Yes, Miss Rio, commencing attack. An effective hit, though we appear to have to let it get away. Tactical retreat. A shame that I escaped yet again. In fact, the retreat is to our advantage. We require time to assess and reorganize. The Brua signal lost. Moves very efficiently. Oh well. Oh, this is awkward. Hello, Miss Rio. This is always an efficient entrance in many ways. Excellent timing. But, are you okay, President Himari? I have absolutely no idea why you feel the need to check on me, but I'm fine. I don't feel jealous in any way, shape, or form that a certain someone came in on the trail of blazing glory and stole the spotlight. Because I am benevolent, and generous, and kind. Do you understand, Emmy? Yes, I understand that the president is sulking. You slander as effortlessly as you breathe. Must begin with the most superficial greeting I can muster. It's nice to see you again, Rio. How have you been? Did you not hear me say that you will begin with a superficial greeting? Let's start with a simple hello, Rio. Yeah, yes, understood. Hello, it's nice to see you. How have you been? Yes, I sincerely return the sentiments, Miss Rio. Have you been sleeping well? Have you been sleeping well? Hope you aren't staying up all night and sleeping in into the afternoon. Managing your circadian rhythm is the only thing that the housekeeping robots can assist you with. That has been... trying. I believe I can visualize Miss Rio and Toki's life together was like. Should we inch our way over to the point now? To begin with, you haven't returned to the Millennium all this time. Where have you been hiding out? Furthermore, a certain seminar treasure has quite a bit to say to you. I also simply cannot look past your dramatic reveal at such a crucial moment at that. Surely you weren't thinking, I need to do something to justify my return. I can't show my face again unless I have something to offer. I was tracking down every clue I could find to the Nameless God's powers. The Nameless God's powers? Yes. It didn't simply disappear after it manifested on that day. There were traces of it all left all over Kavotos. I wasn't expecting to run into you during my investigation. Her investigation of the Nameless God's powers. There to the Decagrammaton's prophets? I'm still doing my utmost to prepare for and prevent the unknown phenomenon that could devastate Kavotos. That hasn't changed, not since I first established the Super Phenomenon Task Force. I'm not charismatic or very skilled at social interactions, so I want to do what I'm able to do. It was how I hoped to find redemption. Fine, I can accept that. However, you simply offloaded the responsibilities of the Super Phenomenon Task Force on me and disappeared. You put me in a position where I couldn't refuse. Despite your dislike of me, I knew you would follow through. From a certain perspective, that could be seen as a threat. Now, let's not fight. We could have been in big trouble if Rio hadn't come, right? Yes, you and I acknowledge that. In fact, outside of this incident, we all owe you a debt, in one form or another. What I was really trying to say was stop waffling with useless things like redemptions or justifications and just come back to Millennium. Huh? What was that? Did you say something? Forget it! However, the Super Phenomenon Task Force ended up fulfilling its role exactly as intended, Miss Rio. Yes, and I, excellent agent and perfect maid, also play my role perfectly. Toki aside, as the founder of the Super Phenomenon Task Force, how do you feel? I'm still figuring that out. I thought you would answer like that. What can I say for certain is that the events that are occurring here are significant, and the ripples will spread far throughout Kavotos. Summarize, you know things that we don't. And I'm sure that along the way, you've got a idea that you haven't. So here's my proposal. An exchange of information. That is the logical conclusion. Shall we undertake the endeavor as we continue our pursuit of Gibrua? I accept those terms. Emmy, do you know the direction Gibrua retreated to? Affirmative. I remember. What are we waiting for? Let's move out, Sensei. Oh boy. Well, all's well that ends well. Alright. The alarm's going off? Another message from Gibrua. Oh? Darling, Gibrua lost? I see. Shall I commence plan B? No objections here. We'll respect Gebrua's wishes to the very end. So we will have to draw them to that place. Gebrua sure worked hard to deliver enemies in the right direction, though. That's our Gebrua. Meticulous, diligent, not to mention hot-headed. Let's analyze the logs. Oh? Dear, an unexpected variable. The name. Am I reading this right? Suki Rio? Suki Rio? Annoying. And annoying an opponent. Perhaps we should have anticipated this. But why now? Another useless line of questioning. After all, she was the first one to notice the Master's presence, and the first one with the audacity to investigate its traces. Regardless, we'll need to prepare a method to handle this variable. Even factoring her in, even if we consider where they were being lured and what we have prepared. Here's the question. The variable has factored itself into the equation that we cannot simply ignore. We still proceed with our previous mythology. What do you think we should do, Soph? Decisions. We have to be decisive. Yes, yeah. We'll pursue the plan using the same methodology. As expected. In fact, I suspected as much. Are you sure? This is Suki Rio. Yes, yeah, I'll acknowledge that she's a formidable foe, but on the other hand, that kid is just as formidable, don't you think, Ein? What do I think? Our kids are invincible, right? Yes, you're correct. That baby's invincible. Regardless, one step in that place and Suki Rio will be rendered utterly useless. Yes, since Suki Rio is only here wirelessly. Absolutely correct. Lastly, we need to correctly evaluate just what level of the threat this new variable poses. Suki Rio, one with the audacity to grasp a forbidden technology, which lies well beyond her reach. I knew her data. Additionally, she found the Super Phenomenon Task Force, which dared to meddle with the Master's operations. I suppose Akiboshi Himario was at the helm of that sabotage, however. She obscured her location, operating from the darkest shadows until now. What could cause her to suddenly reveal herself? For her to suddenly step into the front lines. Right. For one reason or another, she was waiting for that teacher of theirs to join. This, that, and all of it is soft, speculation. Shut it, you! Anyway, whether Suki Rio is as dangerous as a variable sensei, or simply one that we can write out of the equation, we'll have to see. The conclusion Soph has come to then, you intend to evaluate the significance of the new variable alongside the utter decimation of all our other enemies using the child. Don't need to say it again. But is that really alright? They encounter that child, even those people. Would surely die? Yes, an issue of great complication. We have yet to harm a human, have held no desire to do so, never even thought of it. If honestly were to compel me, I'd admit that even I feel. Ein, Soph, my thoughts are that this burden is one we must carry. Huh? I speak truly, do I not? In luring the humans out of the Glacial Sea, we have already pronounced our resolve in that regard. Did we not already tell them, please die? Wasn't that just for dramatic effect? Ah, yes. Yeah, I thought that was the case as well. Listen, both of you. Strengthen your spirit for the sake of the eldest sister. But I know, Ein, I know. We never planned. Our ultimate goal was to avoid the solution to the equation. But who came to our turf first? Since the other humans invaded, without permission, I might add. Yes, I understand. I must strengthen my resolve so I don't fall behind. Yes, all will be as it should be. Yes. Although, making such a statement is the very epitome of responsibility. What? Oh, our? Apologies, truly. Ein exhibits such a wide array of responses. The temptation to experiment with different variables is simply too strong. Oh, I was solely tempted to experiment with your logic circuit's durability as well. Care to be my test subject? Oh boy, here we go again. Or rather, you being the one who conducted such an intriguing experiment. Enough violence! It's off. It's fine. You don't have to. As I stated previously, I've been investigating the traces of the nameless god's power left behind. And in that process, I unexpectedly encountered Gebrua, the fifth prophet of Decagrammaton. Does that creature create a connection to the trip we found at the Glacial Sea? But we've been unable to draw a line from Decagrammaton and the Nameless Gods, at least until now. That is correct, Emmy. I'm sure there are some truths to be uncovered in that alone. For now, we'll reveal what we're absolutely certain is facts. I've also gathered information on the other prophet that inhabits the Glacial Sea. It appears to be mining resources here. Mining resources? I suspect this prophet has taken the form of a ship of some kind. An icebreaker or a tactical ship. You see, that hypothesis would align with the traces that we discovered. The Glacial Sea, very few humans travel here, but it's known to have a wealth of resources. Knowing that, we can surmise that Gerbrua's role here is to patrol the nearby terrain for potential enemies, and act as a guard for the other prophet. That actually does make sense. Did you find out the identity of the ship-shaped prophet? Not as of yet. It strangely emits almost no readable signals. I've attempted to take pictures of the scenes with an AMOS I converted into a high-speed reconnaissance aircraft, but there's only so much that can be done while avoiding detection. You see, we'll incorporate your data into the hypothesis we've been developing. What hypothesis is that? Based on our observations, the Decagrammaton engineers are not only aware of the Nameless God's power, but also have likely acquired it. Yes, that seems like a conclusion. We realized during our battle that the engineers were recording data from Toki's Abiesu. We can only conclude that it was to validate whatever data they have collected of the Nameless God's power. On top of that, according to your information, there's another prophet, shaped like a ship, mining resources in the Glacial Sea. And as it has left the area, it left a massive trail behind. Which begs a question. What kind of question? We're more or less determined of Gerbrua's purpose, patrolling and data collection. But for what reason is this mystery prophet mining resources? Do you think that's a different motive from Gebrua? I believe so. Although that's just my belief. Again, this is all speculation and hypothesis. We'll only find answers in the field by the end of the trail we've been tracking. According to my speculation, there's a high likelihood that the ship prophet is waiting there. Wait, I have a report. While we've been speaking, it seems the terrain below us has changed. I will decrease our altitude. Please buckle your seatbelts and be aware of turbulence. Where the fuck are we? What's wrong, President? What is this? I foolishly believe we had finally escaped the clutches of the Glacial Sea, only to enter a frozen tundra. There's nothing warm about a tundra. I can't take off my insulated suit. It's difficult to move. Yes, it's cold. I like it. Clearly, you're in a swimsuit. Look how you're dressed. Maybe it's a teeny tiny bit different than the Glacial Sea. I don't want a teeny tiny bit. I would like the fundamental problem to be solved. However, it is warmer here. On average, the temperature has risen about around 3 degrees Celsius. In fact, the sea will not freeze as easy here. I would like to emphasize that there is no sea here. On to more important matters. I've identified something strange. What is that? Appears to be a trace left behind from something capable of moving. From a certain perspective, it's actually quite normal. We came this far following a wisp of a trace, so why should we not continue to follow a trace? This one is, well, they look like giant pits, perfectly spaced out. Does a ship leave behind such traces? I know this is sounding ridiculous, but yes, I don't quite know how to say it. However, as Sensei said, it appears to be something like the footprints of a huge monster. The way you can say it out loud while everyone else is afraid to. It's quite commendable at times. Are modern ships capable of walking? No. Do you hear yourself? Ships cannot walk. What purpose would it serve to attach legs to a ship? There's no one in existence who operates with such irrationality and efficiency. But you enjoy your rational and efficient things, President, like astrology and numerology, and you simply cannot understand my genius, Emmy. Astrology is one giant science combining the studies of many different disciplines, including celestial statistics and events, philosophy surrounding the malleability of fate, mathematics, and physics. But giant monsters are a realm that cannot be explained by science. A complete figment of imagination. There's no way they can exist. Come now, Emmy. You say that now. How do we approach this? We have been able to acquire any other leads. It would be inefficient to simply turn her back now. I think so too. Thanks for the summary, Toki. Thank you, Sensei. And while we're at it, they say compliments make the world go round. I'm not the world, but I am Asuma Toki. Well, what did you do, Sensei? Toki's saying weird things again. So it's my fault, is it? I've taken stock of the situation. Please alert us of any updates, Rio. Understood. Can you stand guard, Toki? We need to be prepared for any possible threats. Understood, President Himari. Alright. Flame. It's like the flame sword. We follow the trail to the very end. There's a volcano in the middle of a tundra. Warm! Too hot! Girl, you're in a swimsuit. How can you be too hot? I think it's just right. No, I mean, it's just slightly cold, but as always, you're slightly strange. Humans are designed to live in these kinds of... No, the temperature is much warmer than this. I don't know about that. The cold was nice and refreshing. This is too hot. This is beyond my threshold. I'll remove my clothing now, Sensei. Oh god. No, Emmy, contain yourself. You barely have any clothing to begin with. But why? Humans naturally find cold more tolerable than heat. You can even suffer from the heat stroke with sudden exposure. We're not equipped to endure a heat stroke. Some symptoms include the following: fainting, convulsions, low blood pressure, dehydration, and even death. To make matters worse, it's difficult to determine the cause of death when people die of heat stroke. In conclusion, it's inhumane treatment to continue this operation and force me to endure this extreme heat. You're very well versed in these symptoms, but please, just endure just a bit more. We're sorry for causing you trouble, Sensei. Huh? You feel honored to receive an apology from me? That's a given. After all, who else can empathize so perfectly with others? And console them besides me. Besides the delicate, fragile, genius hacker, a kind and benevolent president, an omnipotent and omniscient beauty. This simple task comes as easy as reading to me. Yeah, it's a simple task. Said twice to really empathize how simple it is for me. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Of course. You're right, Himari. Your expression and your words are incredibly contradictory. The trail ends here. I'll scout ahead. However, the expected terrain has changed, so has the situation. Furthermore, there are many machines currently in operation. Yes, digging, drilling, transporting, demolishing. They are very busy. Not the drilling machine, isn't it? Drilling is primary use to acquire resources, yes. Then are they mining for something here? Various ores tend to be formed in volcanic regions. For example, volcanoes make copper ore, and you can mine a significant amount of sulfur here near an active volcano, but... Uh-oh. President? Communication jam. Toki? Yes, President. I have confirmed a powerful jamming signal broadcasting throughout the entire region. In addition, ABS appears to be affected as well. This jamming signal operates by overloading electronics. No concern, my experience hitting technology very hard usually works. Huh. Emmy? Huh. It did not work. Peculiar. Maybe the angle was wrong? No, I don't think that was the problem. Is that so? Due to a lack of options, I will reduce output down to regular mode. I can store ABS in the temporary trailer Miss Rio created with the Amas. Negative. The jamming signal is also inferior with the trailer's functions. The only other avenue is to manually dismantle Heavy Yesu. I can assist. Thank you, Emmy. Wait, any equipment that's still running? Yes, I can utilize any of the online devices to reverse the jamming signal. It's strong enough that it should be possible. I found it! The signal is coming from that direction! It's a nice volcano you got there. I see nothing there. Is that a radar base? A strange facility of sorts. It may be made to transmit this jamming signal. No matter what it is, we'll need to find a way to resolve the jamming situation. Immediately. For what reason? Using IBS as a combat tool is a huge blow to our forces. Furthermore, and I absolutely loathe to admit this, but without real Zamas units and navigation, remaining here is risky at best. This is purely for the utility of the tools available to us. Do you understand? Do you? She can't be honest with herself when it comes to Miss Rio. Understood, Emmy. Your expression reads as follows. President Himari cannot be honest with herself when it comes to Miss Rio. Can you read my mind? No, I was simply talking. I figured as much. For now, let's just go that way. Yes, let's do this, Sensei. The situation and circumstances all point us towards that direction. Follow me. Be careful, Sensei, President, everyone. Okay. To the volcanic lands! Break through the enemy forces. The defenses, please, Toki. Yes, you can all stay back. Boom! Explosion. Facility destroyed. Success! We caught the jamming signal. Is everyone okay? My signal just came back online. I would have been sort of disappointed if it hadn't. Well, for now, I suppose I'll say it's relief. Yes, I regained control over the Amas as well. I also have access to Rio's trailer. The job well done. Where are you currently? The facility responsible for the jamming signal. We moved to this location when we realized what would happen. However, after the eradication of the first building, we discovered another massive one behind it. Never mind something like this existing on land, but on the Glacial Sea? Something off of the scale. Could it be? Maybe you realize something, Rio. Nothing I can assert with absolute certainty. There is one thing I can say. The amount of resources being mined in this region, it far exceeds the mine done by the prophet I'd been researching out in the Glacial Sea. No one would have put this much of their workforce into mining for no reason. There must be a specific need for these resources. But this begs the question, what could they possibly need this much material for? Could those children in Decagrammaton Could they truly be planning on building a new kingdom? What should we do now, Sensei? Let's explore this facility. Isn't that pretty dangerous? Our odds have improved, and we have Miss Rio back. Yes, the mission is to track down the Prophet and explore the terrain. If enemy forces appear again, I can defeat them once more. I am the strongest maid and secret agent. That evokes an ominous feeling of sorts. Regardless, I stick with the motion. Someone went through the trouble of building a facility like this in an abandoned tundra. That, in of itself, is worth investigating. As Rio mentioned, there's something bubbling underneath it, all that we have yet to bring to the surface. Affirmative. The President responded as expected. Yes, I've said it before, President Himari has such a side. There's been a growing number of conspiracy theories about me lately. Anyway, tread carefully, everyone. Exploration! I'll do one more, because I have absolutely no idea how long this is going to be. Last Decagrammaton chapter was 17 episodes, so I'll wrap it up here. Or no, I'll wrap it up into this part, and then we'll see what happens after that. This is... Passageway connects to the destroyed facility with this one. We may have deployed too much gunpowder. Shockwave shattered everything. I merely followed the teachings passed down from my upperclassmen. One particular person's proverb was, "There's no such thing as too much gunpowder." Oh boy. I know exactly whose proverb that was. Huh. I haven't detected any movement from any enemy troops. We're clear to move forward. Let's go. I'm getting more and more intrigued. I'm registering sounds of machinery operating. A conveyor belt? Yes, at the refined mine resource, it seems they were transferring them elsewhere. I would surmise this to be the processing factory. On a massive scale, akin to a large steel mill. Mysterious trail, drilling machines, signal jamming facility, and a processing factory. Operations of this scale have been happening in this region without a single person noticing. Nefarious schemes play out that way rather often. The radar site is down. We spotted the enemy at the entrance to the second facility. Now then, shall we get started? Getting started means force them deeper towards that place? I can do it. A rudimentary tactic. Lure them into our clutches and eradicate them as they dance in the palm of our hand. Troop deployment complete. Now, Ein, fulfill your role. Yes. Yes, it's slightly beyond my comprehension, but this is how one hunts down prey animals like rabbits and deer from the base of the mountain to its apex. I learned this from Soph. Other way around. Really? Not again. How does Soph know? You've actually never even encountered something like a rabbit or a deer. What is this? This can't be. A massive force of enemy troops is preparing to engage you. Oh boy. Decagrammaton forces? This is incomparable to our previous battles. What's our next move, President? I shall prepare for battle. Stand down, Toki. Enemy's assessment is correct. Even you can't help to take down an enemy force of that size. Furthermore, Abby Essa wasn't designed to function in narrow indoor terrain. Ah, understood, Miss Rio. Is there no escape route we can use? Just hold on, I'm looking. Their force is charging in a single direction. It's blocked off the entrance you came through. There's only one clear path, deeper into the facility. If you follow it all the way down, there's an exit at the back. So the only route available to us is beyond the conveyor belt, to wherever the processed resources are being sent. There's no knowing what lies on the other side, but I would argue that taking the path would be more efficient than facing the full force of the enemy troops behind us. In conclusion, I would agree with Miss Rio's suggestion. I can prepare for combat. She said no. There are times to fight. That time is not right now. Understood. I'll clear the way. This has all the markings of a trap. You can't fall prey to these negative thoughts. With both Sensei and Himari here, you can push through this. It is a trap. You guys don't realize it. Oh boy.
Sensei, 見てますか? Peace, peace.
All right. Oh, Chokma. Alright. I'm gonna wrap it up here. When we come back, we will continue on with the story. I have absolutely no idea how long this is gonna be. Maybe we'll be able to wrap this up in the next part. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.